What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 93 of Lyon Live here in Football Manager 2019. We're back again today, and we start on the profile of Toussaint. And I wanted to start on this profile because on the last episode there were a few people saying, you need a new defensive midfielder. You've signed all these amazing players, but Toussaint's bad. And I don't blame them for maybe thinking that, because when you look at the star ratings, you might see the 3-star rating and go, everyone else looks really good in front of him, and then 3-star only. But what a lot of people don't really realise is the stars, obviously, they are not always accurate. They are based off whoever your assigned coach's opinion is on the players. If I was to switch through different staff members, I have no doubt that some of them would have varying kind of opinions on certain players. I realise now that Toussaint isn't the best example of this, but more so with younger players. But with a player like Toussaint, whilst he is only rated kind of, 3 stars, actually, as a ball-winning midfielder, I'm not going to find a better player than him globally. Obviously, you can see here when we just highlight his attributes, his mentals are absolutely top drawer as a ball-winning midfielder. His physicals are superb. The reason for his star rating is because his overall ability as a footballer and as a midfielder isn't as complete as some other players. You look at his finishing, his dribbling, long shots, stuff that would normally be, needed in a centre mid in a more advanced role. But, when you look at him for what we need him to do, he does all of it and more. And of course, he is our club captain. He's got good determination as well. And we don't need to replace him. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that first. Defend my boy, I guess. But it is something that is easy to, misunderstand, the fact that not only are star ratings not accurate, but obviously they're a reflection of a player's overall ability, as opposed to perhaps how good they are in a very specific role. And I do feel like it's just something worth bearing in mind. But anyway, let's have a look at the games we've got coming up today. We've got Lyon, Dynamo Kyiv, Monaco, and I'd love to get that Salzburg game in as well today, because the last couple of episodes, we've not been, what would you call it, like slow getting through things, but, we've not been able to get through as many games as perhaps in previous years. And I think part of that is down to the fact that I have added in a few leagues and it slowed down things a little. But, just in general, I could have played through things a bit quicker. Do I want to bring in Spagnolo for £3 million or £4 million? It's a little bit of a punt, but with £51 million in the bank, I am more than happy to bring him in for £4.3 million. He'll join us from Napoli. I don't know if he'll join in January or actually a little bit later. Unfortunately, our offer for Kareem Thomas has been rejected by Chelsea. He's a player who I would quite like to sign. He could be the longer-term solution for Toussaint. You can see here, obviously, his current ability, star rating-wise, is allegedly better than Toussaint's. If we just compare him and Toussaint, and then, obviously, in the role that we're going to play them both in, which is ball-winning midfielder, you're going to see exactly here why star ratings kind of don't trust them as the be-all or end-all, because you can see here, despite Kareem Thomas having half a star better rating, actually, Toussaint is a lot better a player, especially as a ball-winning midfielder, which is the role that, obviously, he plays in for us. But yeah, of course, a great result against Kyiv with a rotated team previously. We've got them coming up in a week's time. Someone did ask, actually, Jack, why would you rotate your team for the Dynamo Kyiv game? They are the lowest seeded team in the group, and I just felt like we could afford to rotate players a little bit, particularly in continental football. I always really like giving, a few youngsters a chance. It can really aid their development to be given chances. And for players like David Diaz, for example, it's absolutely invaluable, that first-team football that they can get at this age. It was one of the reasons why we loaned him out to Juventus last season. He was given plenty of football there, and he really thrived and benefited from it. And that's something that I'm always looking to do with our players here. It's always necessary. I don't have any hard evidence for this, I should say, but I do feel like playing players in kind of bigger matches against higher reputation teams in bigger stages, in this case continental football, just helps their development a lot more. Anyway, we've got a hell of a lot of news items here. Is this just more of these scouting things I was doing, or more of my mass scouting? Why was I doing this? I titled the last episode, no more regens. That was a lie. Or no more signings. Regens, unfortunately, they are just part of the game to a point. This guy's pretty good. Mascolo. Although, how much did they say they want? 6 to 11 million. That's a little bit more risky than Spagnolo at 4.3. Especially because Spagnolo at 4.3 I really just like the look of. Man, there's a lot of players here. I'm just going to mark them all as red. And I think we have more going on. So what I'll do is we'll wait for all the scout reports to come in. If we just look at priorities. Yeah, okay, we've got a load more players to be scouted. So what we'll do is we'll wait for them all to be scouted. And then whenever that may be, we'll go back and look at the list of all the, the youth players that we went through and scouted. I think it was all players like under 20 or under 18 that we scouted. We'll see what our scouts have thrown up and see who the hot prospects are. But yes, Spagnolo, he's in the van. He's coming in. If we just toggle off hide inactive deals, he's one of obviously a few players we've now got coming in. And let's just have a look at him, shall we? I mean, look at that. He looks pretty good. He's going to join us actually, yeah, in January. So that's exciting. 16 years old, capped for under 19 Italian kind of national team. Consistent player, very, very consistent. Very good physicals for his age. The reason I've signed this guy is because actually if you look at him as an advanced forward, with the exception of a few stuff like passing and work rate, he's already got, 10 plus in all the stuff I really like in an attacker. The core three, as I call them, the technicals. I love an attacker who can dribble, who can finish, and who has a decent first touch. If they have extra good passing, nice little bonus technique is always appreciated. And then physicals, I just want them to be very, very quick. I feel like Emil Ollison is another good example of this, where he's got that, quick core to his game, but he's also very good with his finishing. His core three here are pretty good. He's not setting Ligue 1 alight just yet for Metz. How are Metz getting on? We, of course, loaned him down a division, where I felt like, he might benefit from playing against slightly weaker opposition. I mean, looking at it here, they're top of the league, so he's clearly doing something right. Anyway, we've got Lorient here. It's a bit weird playing them today because I'm so used to them having Durand in goal for them, but of course he is not available for them since, well, we brought him back and loaned him to AC Milan. Looking at our team, this was the team that I kind of set up at the end of last episode, planning for this game. Am I happy with it? You know what? I kind of am, but our next league game is against Monaco. Toussaint, as you can see here, is one yellow card away from a suspension. I'm going to play things a little bit safer here. We're going to bring in Lucas Romero for him, but we're going to stick with Kai Havertz out on the left, who has declined as a footballer, as you can see here. I believe that'll be down to the fact that he has got better at playing left midfielder. I've talked a little bit about that before. I'll explain more in a second. Same with Vargas learning to play out on the right. So basically, the way that current ability works in Football Manager is each attribute has a value for a player. Let me take this from the top. This is going to be a bit of a long, rambly subject, so let's hope that this game against Lorient is fine. Essentially, a player has a ability out of 1 to 200. This is a under the hood number. It's their current ability, and it represents how good they are as a player. The better certain attributes are in certain positions, the more current ability points they eat up. Imagine it's like a role-playing game where you invest points into what you want. With a defender, if they have higher tackling, that might use up 20 current ability points, whereas if a striker has good tackling, it will use up fewer points, their good tackling, because they're a striker. Their tackling isn't as important. So, for example, if you have a striker who has 20 finishing, 20 off the ball, and 20 composure, that could eat up a massive amount of current ability points and, leave less for other attributes. And based on positions that player play, before we're about to score there through Maulida, basically based on the positions that players play, those points might eat up more. So, for example, if you had someone who plays centre-back, centre defensive mid, and centre mid, whilst passing might not eat up as many points for a centre-back, it does eat up more for a central midfielder. And basically what's happening is when you train a player in a new position, if it's a position they didn't already know, it might mean that that certain attributes are worth more. So, for example, if you trained a centre-back with really good passing to play centre-mid, suddenly the amount of proportion of the current ability points that passing eats up jumps up. So when we're training Havertz to play out on the left and Vargas to play out on the right in their new positions and they get better at those positions, that eats up current ability points, and as a result, if they're right on the cusp of their current ability, which at this point the players may be, have peaked and be the best they're going to be, it just causes all the attributes to drop, because it's like suddenly that they can play a new position, in this case in the wide areas, and the game goes, oh my gosh, well, these are all worth more now because they can play left mid and right mid as well. As a result, you know, if the current ability number under the hood hasn't gone up, or if they're already at their current ability, all attributes will drop. Maybe I explained that terribly. If you feel like you can do a better job of explaining it in the comments, please do. It's the kind of thing where it's probably easier to write down and have thought it out. Anyway, I'm going to make a double change here. We're going to bring in Freitas and James Taylor. Ndombele on a booking scares me a little bit. This game we've been dominant in, but we've not created anything just yet. I'm going to switch to go more attacking because, with 25 minutes left, yes, it's great having 53% of the ball. It's great having 17 shots, but ultimately we need a breakthrough. We'll see if Ndombele can be the man to bring it. Of course, scored on his debut for Tottenham yesterday as I record this video. It made me irrationally happy like a proud father. I'm sure we've all had it where there's a player who, I want to say, I'm not going to claim Ndombele's unknown, but I feel like most English football fans probably aren't that familiar with him. Seeing him score in real life for Tottenham brings a tear to my eye. In a weird way, I'm kind of sat there claiming some responsibility. I'm like a proud parent. I'm sat there screaming on the sideline, he's my son! It's not how it works. Anyway, David's through. Can Donnarumma save us? No. Gilles David has scored from that. Is, I mean, it's quite good. She's not good at all. It might be time to panic. It might be time to panic. I'm going to bring in Shadas for Havertz, because Havertz has not had a very good game. I mean, fair play to them. They've hit us on the break. They've done it a few times. A loss here, by the way, would be rather disastrous. And by rather disastrous, I mean it would be a complete disaster. Shadas, can you bail us out? He whips it back post. Langley hits the woodwork. Oh, boys, I might be panicking slightly. We need 2 goals, really. I'm going to go very attacking. Shadas, on off the bench. He's a set-piece demon. He's hit the post from the corner. I really hope he didn't shoot at them, but this is Shadas. Set anything is possible. Rotated Tusa out. I wonder if that's hurt us that much. I don't think it has. 21 shots and 7, and we've just done nothing with them. We've hit the woodwork 3 times in this match. It's the 89th minute. We need to try and rescue a draw here at the very, very least. As they look to hit us on the break, Militao collects. Now with Ndombele, Lucas Romero. Need something here, lads. Need something. Freitas turns his man. Please don't go for a mental long shot. Vargas sells his man short. Could we get hit on the break again here? Not if Eder Militao has anything to say about it. He reads it. He comes marauding forward. Lays it off to Vargas. Can he get it across? No, is the answer. Now I'm a little bit scared. Eder Militao ran a long way with the ball there. Should have time to get back into position, fortunately. Now with Markovic. I feel like we're building up to something here. Could there be a goal? Taylor, the young Scotsman, falls to Gabels. Lays off to Vargas. Have a go. Have a go. Matthias Vargas, you have saved our bacon on a number of occasions this year. I'm going to stay very attacking with 3 minutes left. Finally, we have a breakthrough. Nice assist by Gabels. Really nice run as well by Vargas here. Takes it around the defender. Surprised he managed to sneak it in there at the near post, but we'll take it. It's a draw. It's not really an acceptable result, but I mean, the draw's been rescued at least. I'm trying to find like a silver lining. That's the best I can do. Boys, that is not good enough though. That could be 2 points that we really live to regret. We absolutely have to beat Monaco. They've not conceded a goal in their first 5 games of the season. That's concerning. Aouar's going to be out for 4 to 5 weeks with a calf strain. As a Liverpool fan, I'm kind of sick of calf strains this week. I feel like Football Manager, it's mocking me. Wow, at least Freitas is improving. Let's look at the silver linings, eh? Probably gives Freitas a chance to come in and do something for us. So we've got Dynamo Kyiv next. I'm going to do a little bit of rotation. Freitas, you are going to get game time. Trincao, are you going to be back from fitness soon? Not really. Moise Keane out for 2 to... How many weeks was it? 2 to 5 weeks still, man. I would love him back sooner than that. I really would. We're looking a little light in certain areas of the pitch right now. With all the injuries we're kind of having to contest with. I'm going to drop Maulida for James Taylor to start the next game. Is there any other changes I want to do here? I mean, when you look at the average ratings in the last 5 games, no one's performing particularly bad of the players who have played a decent chunk of games lately. So I'm not too overly concerned with like rotating the team based on lack of form. I just got to hope that game against Lyon is a blip. But even if it is a blip, it's not really good enough when both Monaco and PSG are pulling away right now. When do Monaco... I mean, at least Monaco are like playing Man City. They've got Nantes to play today. Maybe they slip up against Nantes. Maybe they do us a favour. They've also got Man City midweek at Monaco. So they could come into the game against us a little bit tired. That'll be the hope and expectation, won't it? I do feel like with our kind of squad depth compared to some of the teams around us, we are in a pretty good position when it comes to, well, just being able to rotate the team. I can't really afford to fully rotate things here against Dynamo Kyiv just because it is only the second game of the group stage and I need to beat them in both of the games that we play against them, really. Especially with our group having Liverpool and Salzburg in it. I wouldn't normally be that afraid of Salzburg, but they did beat Liverpool previously, so I have to show them some respect. How's Keita getting on loan? He's doing pretty well. Last year, where were you at? You were at Auxerre, of course you were. You tore it up at Auxerre. He's actually doing pretty good at Fiorentina this year, which is good news. More mass scouting results, as I said. We'll look at those all in a little bit. Can Nantes do us a favour? Please beat Monaco. I think PSG will also be playing today, so if whoever's playing PSG wants to beat them too, you would be doing me a monumental favour. Actually, PSG must play tomorrow. Come on, Nantes. You're at home. I believe in you. I think they're bottom of the league. They've lost 4-0. They've lost 4... Right. At least the game had the courtesy of showing me it on the calendar, so there's no risk of me getting my hopes up. That was considerate. We've got a few loan updates here. Are people performing well? It looks like they're doing fine. De Jong playing for Angers. De Jong's an interesting one. He could come in and be a really good player for us in a few years, but he hasn't improved a lot in recent years. And when you look at his potential ability, he might not be quite as good as we were hoping he was going to be. You can see here Mendy and Durand not having particularly good games for AC Milan as they lose 3-0 to Juventus. Not great. Dumond is going to join us for £2.5 million. That's a good little deal, I feel like. Young French player. Was, well, looked at by a lot of big clubs, as you can see here. And we've beaten all of them to his signature. He looks like he could be the long-term solution to Toussaint. He is only 15, though. So maybe I shouldn't put too much in the way of expectations on him. If he develops great, I feel like at £2.5 million, it feels kind of risk-free. If he doesn't do amazing, it'll be okay. And of course, with the Joker window, he can join us immediately. I'd even think about that. Excellent. I could train him to play centre-back. Could train him to play centre-back if I wanted to add, more strings to his bow. Of course, if he learns to play centre-back and does it to a competent level, we might see some of his attributes drop. His heading and jumping reach really aren't the best, which would always put me off playing him as a centre-back. So with that in mind, I think we'll just focus on him as a ball-winning midfielder. And then I'm going to put an additional focus on his passing, just because first touch, passing and technique, whilst they're not needed for a ball-winning midfielder, they probably are needed with our kind of system. While we do knock the ball around quite a lot, I need players to be reasonable with the ball at their feet. They don't have to be superb. They don't have to be the spark of creativity in the team. However, when the ball is with them, I do need them to be able to pick up the right options and ensure they're not just giving away the ball. Anyway, how are PSG going to get on? They're playing HAC. They beat them 4-0 as well. Is this going to be another one of those seasons where just Monaco and PSG just don't slip up and we just sit there crying about the fact that we lost against teams we really shouldn't be losing to? We are missing Moise Kean, who is a massive, massive part of our team, and Maulida hasn't really stepped up and filled that void in the team, it would be probably fair to say. He's not scored yet this year in 3 starts and 3 appearances on off the bench. I do miss you, Kean. Very, very, very excited to see him in real life in the Premier League as well this year, playing up front for Everton. Obviously, it's going to take him a little bit of time to get, up to speed, I guess, with Everton's system, and I imagine starting on a regular basis. But a bit like Ndombele, really, it's one of those where it's like, I know that player, and as a result, I'm kind of keen to see what they can do. Anyway, we've got Dynamo Kyiv next. We need a better result than that last one. We'll hope that we can beat them. Are Monaco playing a day earlier than us in Europe? I saw that they had Man City to play. It puts our kind of cup draw into perspective, where we're getting drawn against Dynamo Kyiv back-to-back times. I really can't complain when you look at Monaco playing Manchester City twice in the space of a week. I might be wrong here, so if you are more an expert, please do let me know. But I'm pretty sure with the Champions League in the World Cup year that we're in, the first knockout round is just a single leg. You guys can let me know if that is or isn't the case. Good to see lots of our footballers getting decent football. This guy, Marius, he is the Polish centre mid we loaned out to Paris FC. We signed him for £2.3 million way back when. He's played pretty regular football, which is good, but not seen a great deal from him. I mean, he looks very, very solid on kind of first look, and at 17, obviously he's still got plenty of time to develop. I was hoping for a little bit more from him, but again, it's one of those players where we signed him knowing that it was going to cost us like £2 million. Is Georgian still wanting to leave? You know what, Georgian, you can just go, mate. I've been desperately trying to get... I have been trying to get rid of him. I've offered you out for £1 million. Let's offer you out for £500,000. You've played like 16 games for the club in 16 years. Anyway, unfortunately for us, Keane didn't pass his fitness test, so we're without him. I'm going to have to bring in Freitas for Aouar, but given Freitas' recent development... that probably isn't the worst situation in the world. I mean, you can see the head-to-head comparison there. Freitas is like a baby Aouar. He's got a little way to go to be as good as Aouar, but he is also only 19 and improving a lot, so it's fine. For this game, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to bring Havertz into centre. Do I want to play Havertz? I tell you what, Freitas play... Can Freitas not play centre mid? He can't play centre mid. That's awkward. I'm going to bring Sunday into the team out on the right. We'll play Vargas on the left. I'm going to play Havertz down the middle. And then I am... did I drop Ndombele? Was there a reason for dropping him, or was it just rotating? I think it was more about rotating, although his form hasn't been superb. You know what? Renato Sanchez, go and play box-to-box midfielder for us. Show us what you can do. Don't want to fully rotate things here, but it's good to give a few players, a little bit of a chance. Vargas has been very, very good for us. So I'm going to have him as an impact player on the bench. I'm also going to bring in Shadas. Just because I do like Shadas on all our set pieces. I feel like whenever he comes onto the pitch on off the bench, he does work for us. We'll see what he can do. I'm a little bit scared of their formation here, because that could cause the way that we set up defensively a little bit of a headache. They're playing a 4-2-3-1, but with 3 centre attacking mids as opposed to players in the wider areas. We might have to be wary of that. On the flip side, for our players like Sunday out on the right and also Shadas out on the left, there should be lots of space for them to run into. As Shadas, it's an overhit cross, which for a second I got Football Manager, I think 2014 flashbacks, and was just expecting it to fly into the far corner. Anyway, 4.5 minutes in, Shadas here crosses it in to Toussaint. Now with Renato Sanchez, who dinks it to Willem Gabels, and what a finish that is. He didn't score last time for us, but he has scored tonight, and it's taken him 4.5 minutes. And Renato Sanchez with the assist, which I am very, very happy with. You can see here, Toussaint lays it wide to his man. Sanchez dinks in Gabels, just completely unmarked. Top draw finish. His 8th of the season, if I'm not mistaken, in 9 matches. Not a bad return, and well, it's whipped in by Shadas, and it's found its way through to Kai Havertz. A quick double for us here. Puts us in, well, just a leading position now. 2-0 up, less than 7 minutes on the clock. Havertz and Gabels with the goals. Shadas with an assist, which I kind of like, considering he was a spontaneous last-minute addition to the team. If we could now get a third before 10 minutes, that would definitely help me relax a little bit, as Addons does a little 360 pirouette there. Now with Taylor. Addons with it, crosses it in all the way over to Sunday. What can you do, Sunday? Beats his man, he skips across, he lays it to Addons. We are running rampant. I mean, why is it whenever we have one game where we lose or play awfully, we then go and like spank a team the next match? Happened previously against Nice. Could end up happening again here. Good to see Sunday get an assist. One winger to another. Really like that cross. Such an intelligent ball across the 6-yard box. Could have floated it to the back post. Could have, you know, I guess left it up in the air a little bit just to hang. Instead drives it across, aware that Addons is going to be continuing his run. And while speaking of the devil, Addons, free kick. Addons is just a little set-piece demon, isn't he? Set-piece demon, Addons. Remember the name. 4-0. Lovely free kick. Kyiv gets kind of half a hand on it. 4 goals, and we've only had 5 shots on target. This time the woodwork hasn't come to the rescue of our opposition like it did previously. I'm a little bit confused as to why Addons is taking throw-ins out on the right-hand side despite being left midfielder. I can only assume that's a set-piece routine thing that I need to revisit. Maybe to do with when I change my system. Anyway, Addons, corner whipped in nastily. Taylor's going to get there. What can he do? Gives it to Toussaint. He gets tackled from behind? No? Okay, never mind. Thought the referee might blow up. It looked like a foul in 3D. Now it's with Alan Patrick, if that is his real name, breaking through. I mean, Donnarumma's saved it. The commentator said a shocking miss. I'm going to be honest, I expected them to score it, but Donnarumma did stop it. It was straight at him, but still, I need to claim every little save that Donnarumma does and be like, look, it's justified spending £50 million on him. Anyway, Havertz maybe to break away here. It's a 3v2. Lovely ball to Goebbels, who was tackled superbly, to be fair. We look good in this game. I could probably make some changes at half-time if there's certain players I want to protect. Like, I might just bring in Freitas for Goebbels up top. I know that might seem like a weird one, but 4-0 up, I want Goebbels fully fit for our next game against Monaco. I don't want to risk an injury or anything stupid. Is there anyone else I want to protect? Could always bring it in. I'm going to move Addons to centre attacking mid and then take off Havertz for Trincao, I think. I'm sure the players aren't appreciative of these kind of subs where I'm taking off star players, but I don't know, with Moise Kean out injured and Aouar out injured, I feel like Kai Havertz and Goebbels, their importance to the team just skyrockets. I really can't afford to not have them, you know, fit for our next game against Monaco, because Monaco haven't conceded a goal yet this year. Which means one of two things. When we come to play against them, they're going to shut us out completely, or we're going to score 3 or 4. There is no middle ground. This is Football Manager. Anyway, they've got the ball here on the right. I would love to keep the clean sheet. I think Donnarumma had that covered. A little bit of a warning shot in our direction. It wasn't on target. I'm going to get shouty at the players. Demand more. A few of them looking complacent. Addons looking for his hat-trick. I mean, he's got his hat-trick. 2 free kicks. And you know what makes Addons so good at free kicks? It's the fact he's got good technique, good free kick taking, and good crossing. They all play a role. I mean, fair play, Addons. He's got a little wand of a left peg. That looks like an impossible angle to score. Koval maybe should do better. Addons is just putting on a little show for us. Taylor's picked up a knock in the final third. That scares me. Maulida, come onto the pitch. I'm hoping that's nothing too serious because I quite like James Taylor. We absolutely swarm them there. Addons has it. Lays off to Freitas, who hits it. Saved against the post? I think it was. That was a decent opportunity. Might not be over just yet. Sunday, what can you do? He switches the play to Trincao. Have a go. Can't beat the man, unfortunately. Good to see Trincao back, by the way. He's been out with an injury for a little while. It's going to take him a little while to get up to match fitness. But yeah, nice to see him back. We could have a penalty here. Toussaint apparently fouled. Where is our player going? He left his stove on at home. Shadas wants a 4th goal. Will he get it? He'll probably miss it now. He scored all the hard chances all game. I take it all back. It's his 4th goal of the game. He's loving it. It's 6-0 on the night. I mean, it's helping our goal difference immensely. If goal difference does come into the group stage, at a later date, we could be looking at a margin of victory like this, thinking, man, I'm glad that we were so ruthless at the time. Wouldn't mind a 7th. If you've got it in your locker, boys. Maulida, Renato Sanchez. He's been quite quiet today, Renato Sanchez. He's gone about his business well, though. Maulida turns, hits it. I mean, that's why you've been dropped for this game, mate, because that's just a waste. Still hunting out that elusive 7th goal, though. Sanchez, was that a foul? No, it wasn't. Ball is cleared. I mean, they could hit us on the break here. I quite like our clean sheet. Let's not wet the bed now. Ball is through. I mean, there you go. I think Donnarumma probably could do better than that. I don't really want to do what we did with Moise Keane a few years ago and hold the price tag over his head. I don't want to refer to him as £50 million goalkeeper Donnarumma. At the end of the day, it's still 6-1. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It's fine. Shadas wants another. I mean, is that an own goal or does he get that? It's a weird own goal. Let's just enjoy it. Shadas hits at the wall. It hits 2 of the players in the wall and just ends up flying in. Perhaps the most fortunate of the goals we've scored today, but let that take nothing away from you. We have scored 7. And that was with me being nice and taking off some of our best attackers at half-time. If Maulida's not on the pitch, we probably get 10. Good little result, though. That will give us some confidence. Hopefully now, we can rest up for that Monaco game, come into it red hot. That'll be the aim now, I imagine. But yes, 7-1 it's going to finish. I am very, very happy, boys, with your performance there. Durand, Mendy, Penny against Manchester United. Taylor out with a damaged foot. I mean, that doesn't sound healthy, does it? Shadas gets 4 goals and an assist. Part of me's like, well, I have to start him now for the next game. Goebbels is set to have a bid launched at him from Chelsea. Don't like that. Did we offer him a new contract? We did. Well, please sign the new contract now. Let's get these rumours dealt with, shall we, Willem? Just shut them down. Sign the new deal. Do me a favour. I am really looking forward to having Moise Keane back. I was really hoping we'd have him back for the Monaco game, but I don't think it's happening now. Obviously, Aouar's out as well, which is probably the biggest concern right now. Does maybe give a chance. You know what? It probably makes most sense here to play Shadas out on the left and play Havertz instead of Aouar. I was thinking of a way to get Freitas into the team, but after that last performance by Shadas, give him a go, I say. Fitness test for Moise Keane. He failed his fitness test. He's not fit. Maulida may need to start the next game unless I want to play Freitas instead. How do Freitas and Maulida compare? Maulida's going to be quicker. I'm pretty sure that Freitas is just better technically. Yeah, you can see here. It's not a world of difference between them. I guess it depends on what you really want from the player. I'd probably say Maulida is a tiny bit better, but his form has been atrocious, so I might drop him. Regardless, it's going to be a pretty blooming big game for us, isn't it? We're going to rest our players for 2 days going into the game against Monaco. How are we looking in the Champions League? Liverpool beat Salzburg. They must have beaten them quite handsomely. Yeah, they beat them 4-0 at Anfield. I think that does leave us in a situation where if we could beat Salzburg in our next game, which is in just a week's time because World Cup fixture congestion is a thing, but if we could beat them, it would leave us in a really, really good position. Anyway, we have even more scout reports here. Let's just ignore them all. Oh, I remember now. We also scout players with contracts expiring, didn't we? It's all coming back to me now. Was there anyone particularly good with a contract expiring soon? There's some okay-looking players looking at it. Interesting. We'll have to keep an eye out. Players like Dolberg would be an interesting addition if we could approach to sign him. Wouldn't mind him as kind of a backup striking option. Looks like he's had quite a few problems with injuries, though. Obviously, inevitably, there are a few older players in here, but at the same time, there's some pretty big names. If we just sort by ability, I would quite like Kareem Thomas. I'm not even going to lie to you. He could be like the next, the follow-up to Toussaint, I feel like. I'm just going to try and unsettle him at Chelsea by repeatedly making bids. Hopefully, he gets annoyed at the fact they keep rejecting the bids, decides not to sign a new contract, and then come January, we just sign him on a free. Unfortunately, it is only September, so all these mind games can be played. He'll probably sign a contract the day before January 1st, where we'd be able to go in and approach to sign him. I'm emotionally prepared for it. I've been burned before. How's Guille getting on? Apparently his development's been good. His determination's dropped, but everything else is improving. His physicals are just crazy. Apparently Alcacer is the player to be worried about. At least Gabels has signed his new contract. It's a 5-year deal on £92,000. I mean, I'm okay with it. You can see here, we are one of his favourite personnel, which is nice. The club isn't one of his favourites, which is a little bit of a shame. Apparently he has a relative who plays for Atletico Marseille. I mean, that doesn't even sound like a real team, does it? It just sounds like a fake team, Atletico Marseille. It sounds like one of those teams that you'd find at like your pub league or your five-a-side midweek league. You know the deal. If you've played either of those things, you've come across the imaginative names that people come up with. More and more players being scouted. We'll wait until that slows down a little and then reevaluate things. Of course, with the transfer window being closed, it's not the end of the world. Excellent. Kareem Thomas is facing an uncertain future after a row with Roger Schmidt. Apparently, he's unhappy. Kick up a fuss, my friend. He is not happy about not being able to leave. Alright, let's make a little saga happen, shall we? I'll up my offer to 17.5 million. I like this guy as a long-term option. For like he could be he could even be, to be honest, he could even play ball-playing defender on cover. Actually, his jumping reach is a bit potato. I don't know. Really like the look of him though. I think it's the fact he's got such good first touch and passing, and also to be fair, his marking and tackling are superb. Talked about Toussaint at the start of today's episode. He's nowhere near as good as Toussaint from a defensive perspective. However, what he does offer us is a slightly more versatile option in the same area of the pitch. And at 20 years old, we can really mould him into the exact player that we want. He's incredibly well-rounded. I'm hoping that, we can really kick up a fuss. That he's going to get really, really unhappy, refuse to sign a new contract maybe, or Chelsea cave and let me go in for him for less than 20 million. Which I'd probably be happy to bid. If it meant I could definitely get him ahead of, someone like Real Madrid coming in come January the 1st and stealing him from my grasps. This game against Monaco is huge, by the way. After the slip-up against Lorient where we could only muster up a draw, this game takes on a whole new, amount of importance for our season. We're at home against them. They've not conceded a goal yet this season after 6 matches. I'm hoping with our sheer kind of quality of attacking talent, we're going to be able to break them down. You can see more big names being scouted here. Aaron Ramsey, I guess, Aranguiz, the Chilean. There's some pretty big names available. Higuain. There are lots of older names, to be fair, but I'm sure there's a few diamonds in the rough that we can maybe look at. Moise Keane, how are you looking? 12 days to 3 weeks. I can't rush him back to fitness, so he's not available. Vargas is going to play on the right with Shadas on the left. I could play them on the opposite wing, so Vargas is playing in his natural position. The only issue there is that Shadas now is cutting in on his left foot, but maybe I could just do that and that's fine. I mean, Vargas is going to be cutting in on his foot. I guess the other option would be to bring in Sunday. I could drop Havertz. Would that be a little bit mad, considering he's got a 7.52 in his last few games? I'm kind of thinking I want to get Sunday on the pitch, because he's been great for us. You know what? It might be very harsh on Shadas. I'm going to have him on the bench. He's going to be, in our back pocket. The plan B. Or I could play him as the complete forward. Yeah, let's not. The red has scared me. I often say ignore the red. It has intimidated me. It has scared me. We're not going to do that. Right, Freitas, give me a good performance today, mate. I'm going to actually talk to him about his recent form. Criticise recent form. He's going to score a hat-trick now tonight. I can feel it. Is there anyone else I want to talk to about recent form? Tanguy. Let's have a little chat, mate. Recent form, it's not been that great. He knows, I know. He's going to step up now. I believe. Mal leader as well. We should give you a little warning. Come on, you can do it. He's been disappointed in. At least they all believe in me, and they trust what I'm saying. It's not like they're the ego players who are like, no, actually, I think I've been playing pretty well recently. It's like, mate, you've got a 6.4 average rating for the last 10 games. Cut the BS. Right, Monaco at home. Need a big performance. We're going to start off with this system. After the game against Lorient, I'm a bit like, maybe in some of the games against, the bigger teams like Monaco, but also away from home, maybe I should play the 4-5-1 a little bit more frequently. Obviously, over the last couple of years, we've kind of settled more into playing the same system, home and away, whereas in our very first couple of seasons, we were a little bit more adaptable with how we lined up. Maybe something just to have in the back of our mind as a consideration, I think. But let's see how we get on here. Hoping that we can get off to a flyer. They've not conceded yet, so that's going to be a challenge. Alcacer playing out on the wing is an interesting position for him. Lays it off to Zedvaj, the Croatian right back. What a tackle by Tanguy and Ndombele. What can you do, my friend? Gabel's dispossessed. Straight forward to Markovic, who I would probably say is the weak link in the team, Markovic, but to be fair, it's not really been evident. I don't feel like we've ever looked at him and gone, man, a better player there stops the goal from being scored. Vargas, what can you do? Really liked Matías Vargas so far this year. Really, I mean, we might be going to VAR, so I don't want to celebrate. VAR is ruining football, but if that goal counts, that is a stupendous goal. What? I mean, I don't know what VAR was even checking, but can we... I mean, I've just bigged him up. I've just talked about Matías Vargas. Here you go. Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen. As you do. I mean, okay, mate. Maybe I play him out on the left even though he's a winger, and I play Havertz out on the right. Or maybe we just play Sunday out on the right. I don't even know. I guess there was a hint of offside there. He was onside, though. We're fine. Now a set piece to deal with. I mean, there you go. Monaco's first goal conceded all season. And it was that. I mean, to be fair, I don't think they could have had 3 goalkeepers in goal. I don't think they would have stopped that Vargas goal going in. It was a ridiculous effort. Havertz on a booking is a little bit concerning, but he is playing a position in the team where he shouldn't have to make too many tackles. Jorge here at the edge of the area. Sunday tackles him. Where are you going, Sunday? Come on. Look at him go. Run like the wind. Dinks it forward. Cabel's is there. Lovely touchdown. Can he score against his former club? He can't. Lopez stops him. Wasn't the best of attempted finishes in the end. Kind of hit it straight at the keeper as opposed to aiming for one of the corners. Although there's a corner here. It's not being particularly well defended either. Sunday to whip it in again. What can he do? Puts it on Gabel's head, who loops it. Lopez, I don't know what Lopez is doing in goal for them. They look wobbly at the back to Monaco. They look uncomfortable. They look like they're there for the taking, if you ask me. So far in this game, 60% of possession. They've had 1 shot on target. They did also hit the woodwork, to be fair to them, but half an hour gone here. Couldn't have really asked for a better performance so far in this match. Building from the back here, you can see they're trying to press high up the pitch, but it leaves them with a lot of space in behind. If we can, break that initial press, you can see here, this is the space now behind their midfield. we can really exploit. As Sunday just runs and runs and runs, and the finish at the end of it was not a bad attempt, but just not quite up to scratch, I guess, to beat Lopez from there. But everything until that finish was pretty blooming good. Vargas has it. I mean, I just expect him to shoot now. Havertz doesn't put the ball into the box. He just lays it off. He just lays it off. Sunday, where are you going? Throws it in. Gabels, was he fouled? I think it's outside the box. I think it's outside the box. I'm not going to get overly excited here. If we could get one more goal before half-time, it would be pretty nice. This is going to be outside the box, I feel like. I want to be wrong. Please give me the penalty, ref, by all means. It did happen outside the box. Disaster. Half-time, though, 0-0. It's not 0-0. That's what I'll tell the players to keep them switched on. But no, 1-0 here. I'm going to tell the players I'm far from pleased still. Havertz has not had a particularly good game. I'm going to take him off for Shadas, who's going to come in to play Trequartista. Midfield orchestrator, Shadas. Also set-piece orchestrator. I really like Shadas's free kicks and corners in case that wasn't obvious. I feel like he can single-handedly win us games. Golovan, free kick of his own. Saved away, falls to Murillo. What a tackle that was. Was that Lenglet? Of course it was. That tackle is like a goal-saving tackle. We might even get a little bit of it in this replay here. If the ball pings out and continues. Unfortunately not. I thought we were going to get in the goal line replay to see the block again from above. But it hasn't happened. Unfortunately, they've scored. That looked like it might have hit Bonucci, who was offside. He was offside. I mean, thank you, VAR. VAR right now is coming to our rescue. But yeah, Bonucci here. It deflects off him, but he's stood in an offside position. We'll take that. He's on a booking. Send him off for it, ref. What do you mean offsides aren't a bookable offence? Freitas has been poor. I'm going to bring in Maulida. We had a little chat with him before the game. I'm hoping he's going to come in, kind of switched on, and do something for us. Toussaint's not the craziest of games either. I'm going to bring in Lucas Romero there. Double change, our last two of the game. Shadas, free kick. Can he score it? Oh my word. Oh, he has. Once he got in his serial. Like, free kicks at one point at the start of FM19 were really, really good. Like, they went in way too often. Shadas was never patched. They never nerfed his free kicks. They never stopped this man. That is a nutty, nutty goal. And with 20 minutes left, 2 goals to the good? I mean, they've brought on Ben Davies. They're panicking. Why has Ben Davies ended up at Monaco? I say this like Kieran Tierney hasn't gone to Atletico Madrid in real life. That is a Football Manager transfer. Gabels, make it free. Humiliate them. Humiliate them. He's blazed it over. He has blazed it over. I mean, I said going into this game, we're not going to win 1 or 2-0. It'll either be 0-0 or we'll score 3 or 4. I want that analysis to hold true here. I want a third goal. If they score now with 8 minutes left plus added time, we do have to be a little bit wary. We do need to be a little bit more respectful than perhaps how we've been so far this game. Davis with it. It's blocked. Falls to Shadas. Now we can break. Maulida ahead. I mean, he's going on his own. He's going on his own. It's past. I thought for a second it was going to fall to our attacker. It's been dealt with. Militao reads the play though. Ziyech. I mean, it's all a bit ping-pong in the centre right now. Murillo brings it forward. Crosses it back post. Carrasco, who scores a Di Canio-esque volley. I mean, that was quite a good finish, to be fair. Bit scrappy in the midfield. We just couldn't get it away from danger. They broke in numbers. You can see there just how many players they had. And then, I mean, pretty good technique. I will give him that. That is not a bad technique. Maybe I'm worrying slightly now. Because, there's 6 minutes plus added time. We need that third goal, please, boys. Make me comfortable again. Vargas, where are you going? Oh my gosh, the run through is superb. It falls to Gabels, who tucks it away. Vargas makes that goal. He won't receive any credit in the history books for his contribution there. But Gabels finds another. 9th of the year for him. Vargas, though, picks it up here, ghosts inside, takes it around a few men, lays off a pass Little bit of fortune there as the clearance ricochets off one of their defenders. It falls to Gabels, who tucks it into the bottom corner. And we can breathe a sigh of relief now, I feel like. 2 minutes of added time left. It's trickling away. Maybe a chance for one last late goal. Markovic can't head it goalwards, but make no mistake, this has been a top draw performance after the disappointment against Lorient. We've dismantled them. Shadas has come to our rescue a little bit. Vargas, for me, man of the match. He scored a huge goal for us to start the game, really set us on our way, and then his run was instrumental in the second goal, or rather the third goal. You can see here, he did get man of the match. You were superb, my friend. That is what we needed. Unfortunately, that probably is going to mean that PSG are going to go top of the league, but suddenly, only 5 points behind Monaco, things don't look as disastrous, especially when you consider the fact we've already played PSG. Unfortunately, we kind of now need PSG to slip up, otherwise we've not really achieved a great deal. But I don't know, things are looking okay. That draw against Lorient is undeniably disappointing, but we've bounced back well. If we could beat Salzburg to start next episode, we then go into what should be theoretically an easier run of games. Brest and Guingamp are going quite strong, but a few teams down in the bottom half who we should be beating. I say that, Lorient are in 11th and we slipped up against them, so I'm not going to get too complacent, but Moise Kean's going to be back soon. Record transfer Moise Kean. I'm excited for it. You're excited for it too. He's got a little way to go, but still, huge result there against Monaco, especially when you consider the injuries we had to some key players in the final third. But that's all from me today, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Next time we'll be back with the Salzburg game and some more. Drop a like if you've enjoyed. I'll see you again soon. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.